Good evening and welcome to the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. The World Trade Organization has announced that global trade could decline by more than 30% this year because of COVID-19. The organization made the announcement in a video release yesterday. Andrew Ladley has details.
Production lines the world over has grounded to a halt as the COVID-19 pandemic wreaks havoc across the globe. In many countries, air and seaports are still on lockdown, forcing governments to look inward. Director General at the World Trade Organization, Roberto Azevedo, is warning that those ports will have to open if the world is to weather the pandemic more quickly.
Fiscal policy, monetary policy, and trade policy, they must all pull in the same direction. Keeping markets open will help economies recover more fully, and working together, countries will bounce back more quickly than they would acting alone.
He says the damage so far has been far-reaching and noted that things will worsen if countries don't work together.
We project that trade will fall steeply in every region of the world and across all sectors of the economy. In an optimistic scenario, our economists see the volumes of global trading goods tumbling by 13% in 2020. Now, if the pandemic is not brought under control and governments fail to coordinate policy responses, the decline could be 32% or more.
But the WTO official notes that all hope is not lost.
I want to emphasize that the underlying causes of this economic crisis are very different from the previous ones. Our banks are now undercapitalized. The economic engine was and is in decent shape, but the pandemic has cut the fuel line to the engine. If the fuel line is reconnected properly, the global economy can recover quite rapidly. Now, two factors will determine the strength of our recovery. One,
while Jamaica's air and seaports are closed to incoming passenger traffic, the country is still engaging in incoming and outgoing cargo services in an effort to keep trade alive. Andrew Ladley, TVJ News.
The head of the International Monetary Fund has warned that the coronavirus pandemic will turn global economic growth sharply negative this year. Kristalina Georgieva forecast that 2021 would only see a partial recovery. Lockdowns imposed by governments have forced the closure of many companies and redundancies. Earlier this week, a UN study said 81% of the global workforce, or 3.3 billion people, had their place of work fully or partially closed because of the outbreak. Currency trading ended today with the US dollar selling for $137.66, the Canadian dollar $100.91. The pound sterling is going for $175.32, while the euro is being sold for $153.75. To the stock market now, the JSE index gained 4,729 points today, and the junior market index is up by 35 points. Among the winners, Caribbean Producers Jamaica, Derrimont Trading Company 2021 preference shares, Supreme Ventures, AMG Packaging and Paper, and Wisinka Group. On the losing side were Salada Foods, Derrimont Trading Company, Pulse Investments, Jetcon Corporation, and Knutsford Express Services. And that's it for the Business Day. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Good evening.